Greetings, Gothlings. Welcome to gothgirljournals. I'm Mina, and I'm really excited that you guys are joining me today. I am starting a new segment, which is going to be called Fable Foundry. I'm going to be telling a story while I craft. It's not tutorial-like, so you kind of just watch and it's more about the story. I'm going to be doing a kit from Giggle Glitter Graphics, from April at Giggle Glitter Graphics. Oh, that's a mouthful. And it's absolutely stunning. It's called Frostbound Forest, and it is a junk journal-like project kit where it does include the making of a junk journal, but it is a whole kit with a story that is really, really awesome. So I'm going to be telling the story while I craft in several different parts because it's quite a big kit. I really hope you guys enjoy this segment. Let's get crafting. Before I begin, just want to show you what we're making today. Coming to you from the future here. Going to be making this beautiful box as a start. This is going to hold all of our ephemera and junk journal and all of that. In case anybody's interested, I used 250 GSM card to print all of this, just because it's for a box, so you want it quite sturdy, and 250 is actually the thickest that my printer will take. And then I did use some distress ink around the edges when I cut it out. So I used gathered twigs. I used some Versa Magic. This is Ocean Depth. I used Versa Magic Oasis Green. And then I also used Versa Magic Aspen Mist. And then the last one, if I can find it, I used this Distress Ink Pumice Stone. So it's just kind of, if you have a look at the sort of color scheme, I match various parts. Like for the wood part, I obviously used this. This was a little bit lighter for all the very light bits, and then there's blues, greens, and turquoises as part of the kit. So just in case anybody was interested in that. But yeah, let's begin. Welcome to the Fable Foundry. I do hope you enjoyed today's story. Aaron Solis is an ecologist and a researcher, just like his father before him. Aaron loves to be out in the field, doing sketches and researching various flora and fauna. When he was a little boy, his father used to tell him stories about his travels and all the things he had seen. He used to say there was magic out there in nature, and if Aaron looked hard enough, maybe he could find it. Aaron remembered these stories fondly and trusted them to be true even into his adulthood. He looked far and wide when he heard rumors about a forest that might have magic. Aaron had written a book called The Unseen Forces, a study of symbiotic magic in flora and fauna. Honestly, there wasn't real magic, but he just found the world outside so magical that he decided to include that in his book title. He felt more at home outside in nature, and he wanted to discover all of nature's mysteries. He had spent decades looking for this magical forest, but with no luck. He was beginning to lose hope and started thinking that maybe, after all, It didn't actually exist. Dr. Solus, as he was fondly called by his students, taught at the University of Hawthorne. He founded the Ecological Research Society there, and he had a lot of students who very keenly came to learn from him and his expertise. For Aaron, as much as he loved to teach, it was never enough just being in the classroom. He wanted to be out there, searching, finding, sketching. He loved to be in the field, and he just wanted to understand every extraordinary ecosystem that existed. He had amassed a vast collection of plant specimen slides, and they were carefully curated and locked up in his office safely. He enjoyed showing these to all of his students and talking about all the adventures that had taken him to all the different places where he had found these plants. He wished that he could tell them more magical stories, but he did not want to lie, and so far he had not found anything that he would call magical. Although he had discovered some plants that were previously not known to man, he still yearned for more. His father always used to say, "Immerse yourself in the solitude and tranquility of nature, Aaron, and listen, really listen, and look, and see how the creatures interact with each other, how they interact with the various elements in the environment, especially the plants. Then, and only then, my boy, you will learn everything that you need to know. And after you've learned some things, search even deeper." As much as Dr. Solus had searched and observed and listened and found out many, many things about nature that others did not see or know, he still had a fascination with it. He had a deep love for it, and he wanted to unlock all the mysteries that might remain that he had not yet found. Dr. Solus was so dedicated to his craft that he did not even have many friends, only some at the university. He never married and never had children. He just figured that he would not be able to give enough time and be a good husband and a good father because his love of nature would have always come first. During one of his lectures about how the weather, seasons, and unseen forces of nature affected flora and fauna and their symbiotic relationship, which was the subject of one of his recent publications, he realized something. He realized that he was once again getting itchy feet. He wanted to be out there and not stuck in a classroom. This was a bittersweet thought for him, as he had spent so long searching for something that possibly would not even be there, that he was disappointed every time he didn't find anything magical. He decided to go home and sleep on it and make the decision the next day. Maybe he would go, maybe he would continue to teach for a little bit longer. When Dr. Solus arrived home, it was already close to evening. He decided to make his usual cup of strong tea and spend some time reading. Some of his colleagues had published several research papers lately, and he wanted to catch up and see if there was anything new for him to learn. Whilst reading, his eyes got heavy, and the tea he drank had, rather than wake him up, actually made him feel tired, and he almost fell asleep in his reading chair. He looked over and saw his big grey tabby, Felis catus, Felis for short, looking at him with droopy eyes, almost as if he was calling him to go to bed. "All right, old chap," he said. "I think it's time to turn in for the night." He switched off all the lights, went upstairs and tucked himself into bed. Felis jumped on the bed and curled himself down by his feet, as he always had done since he was a little kitten. The next morning, Aaron woke up feeling really rejuvenated. He had decided to carry on teaching for a little while longer until something specific came up that he wanted to research and decide where he wanted to go. Downstairs, he made his usual cup of very strong coffee, fed Felis, and then was off to go back to the university. He wanted to catch up on some marking before the students got there. As he walked out of his house, he decided to check his mailbox. As he opened it, there was actually a letter inside, which was pretty unusual. Dr. Solus turned over the envelope to see who the sender was. What he saw made him really, really excited, and he tore the envelope open very quickly so that he could read the letter. As he read through the letter, Aaron realized that he was holding his breath. This is something that would change his life forever. This was part 1 of Frostbound Forest. I hope you guys are enjoying the story so far and enjoying watching me put the box together. Part 2 is going to be out very, very soon, so please keep an eye out for that. And thank you so much for joining me. Please like, subscribe, comment, all the good stuff. As I always say, I love hearing from you and replying and having a little bit of a chat. So I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys. Farewell.